Welcome, welcome. Give you guys a chance to get in here. This is gonna be I feel it's gonna be a good one. I feel it's gonna be a real good one. So I'll give you guys a chance to get in here. Come on in, come on in. Welcome. Okay. Welcome. Come on in. That's straight. There we go. Right. What's up, Dave R? Yeah, double. Double. I'm feeling it tonight. Feeling it. Welcome. This is a good one that I say it's a good one, but this, and this is the first time I'm trying to put this in words, but once I start saying it more, it'll flow better. But this is the first time I'm trying to put this in words. All right. So, and it's about trusting God, like truly trusting God that He's going to save you from whatever you may be in, like true trust. And so the best way I can explain it to you is using myself. That's the only way. And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to go all the way back to where it started, to where I first started understanding what a narcissist is, but from an overview. So imagine while I'm in it, in the narcissistic fog, I'm on the floor, I'm playing, so I can't really see anything because all these people and everything's around me. But now I imagine myself at the 300 level, being able to see what exactly is going on, hence, which is obviously God's view while I was in it. But now that I'm out of it, I can go back and see the overview. And I'm hoping this overview will be able to help people that may be in it, prevent them from ever getting in a relationship with a narcissist, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not going to be about what the narcissist did bad to me and all that good stuff. It just is a different view. Okay. So in 2017, I met this particular narcissist, and this was the worst kind. Now I'm going back and forth because now I know. So as you listen to me, now I understand that this was the worst kind of. She was the top. She was the physically abusive, mentally abusive. Didn't care about anybody that hurt. Didn't care about putting you in jail. Just she was put it this way. She's a very, very, very bad person. Now, when I met her, I didn't know anything about narcissists. I had no idea that people like her existed, that they could do certain things and tell you they love you at the same time, still have sex with you, et cetera, et cetera. I'm thinking a totally different way. But as I'm in it, I'm going to tell you the times when God was talking to me while in it. Okay. So when I was involved with her, I was confused. I just didn't know why all of this was happening, why she was doing. And then God told me, start Googling, why is my girlfriend doing XYZ? Why is my girlfriend saying this, but she's doing that? And when I started doing that, it started leading me to narcissists. Every time I would look, it would always lead to narcissism and narcissism. And then when God told me to do that, it led me to understanding, watching videos, and learning the pattern, the beginning stages, and the devalue, and the flying monkeys, and all this other stuff, right? Which led me to that, right? Now, even though I was gathering this information, and here's another one this was a very important one, especially both man and woman. Okay, this is very important. God said, stop having sex with her. He said, stop sharing your body with the very person abusing it. Stop doing that. Now, as most know, narcissists are very sexual because they use that. That's what they use to suck you in. That's the main component, right? I noticed when I was starting to do, which was very difficult because that was never a problem in our relationship, unlike most, right? I noticed a change in her when I started doing that. I would do it for a couple times or a week. I'd be be strong, and then it would break, and then I feel bad, but I enjoyed it, and we made it seem like that was exactly what she wanted to suck me back in. But I noticed when I was getting stronger, her attitude started changing because I must have been waking up or something. I was probably acting different, but I can't really tell when I'm in a narcissistic fog. But still, I was really, really deep, and everything, we had built a business together, and all the finances was tied up into together. So she had control of all that. And I had asked God to help me because I didn't know what was happening. Okay. When I asked for help, this is how it went. I'm just giving you guys a fast forward. My mother had just, she had surgery. She had spinal surgery. Okay. And dad needed my help, which was in another state. Okay. They needed my help to take care of my mother for about a month. Okay. Now, when I had asked God for help, I didn't know this is how he was going to do it. Okay. Because when I left, when it was time for me to go for that month, I didn't know, in my mind, I was coming back. I was going to the other state for a month, and then I was coming back a month later. And this is what I realized God couldn't tell me that I was never coming back. Once I got on that plane, he couldn't even tell me that I was leaving, because I would have shown a different kind of emotion to the narcissist, and she would have picked right up on it. She would have saw me pack, because I would have been packing differently. Think about it. I would have been packing totally different if I was going and never coming back, compared to packing as if I'm coming back. So God couldn't even tell me that I was never coming back. I didn't know this at the time, right? So I remember getting on the plane to leave, and I remember the energy that was coming from her while we were having lunch and stuff like that. It wasn't the type of energy that she was going to miss me, that I was leaving. It was the energy like once I was gone, she was going to be having some fun. I could just tell it was that type of energy. And then when I got on the plane, God said, text her. He said, text her. Hey, I'm on the plane. I'm safe. She didn't text me back to like an hour later talking about, okay, safe trip. Call me when you land, something like that, right? God said, see, does that even feel like somebody that misses you and loves you? I was like, damn, that's what it is. That's not, don't deny stuff like that. When you see stuff, you think they're showing you right there. That was the energy. But anyway, so when I got to where my mother was in another state, I remember it was weird how God said, check your Facebook. I got on Facebook. I kid you not. Because I wasn't looking. I just said, check the Facebook. And I noticed that her name was attached to this brand new Facebook group that she signed up for. When I left, this was a brand new, and then I saw she got sexy pictures up there. Hey, everybody, I'm trying to meet people and this and that. I was like, she's doing it again. She's doing it again. At that moment, I remember saying to myself when I was away, I said, I have to put a stop to this. And right now, me being physically away from her is my only chance. This is my only one chance. And so I put my foot down. I said, okay, that's it. I said, I don't care if I don't get anything back. I don't care if I lose the business, my truck. I said, I don't care. I'll start over. I don't care. And this is when I felt God's energy happening for me. Because I didn't realize this at the time, okay? Narcissists will use everything you love against you. And as long as you stay attached to something they know you love, they think they have you. And I guess they do. If you keep trying to fight over it and this and that. It is not until I said, I let go of everything, that's when God kicked in. And I swear to God, this is what happened to me. Okay, not many people. It's called from what I've understand, it's called the dark night of the soul. All right. I remember I was at my sister's house, and she has a tree in the backyard. Okay. Something told me to get up. Just a second. It was in the summertime. God told me to get up, bring a chair next to the tree, and touch the tree, because I'm very emotional at this time. Touch the tree and talk to God. I forgot exactly how I went. But then I started crying hysterically. I started crying like I've never cried before. No, excuse me. This is how it happened. I'm sorry. I sat down and sat next to the tree, right? And this is what God said to me. God said, I didn't bring you here to send you back. That's exactly what he said to me. He said, I didn't bring you here to send you back. And then I started crying hysterically, okay? Because he told me I wasn't going back. And I started crying hysterically, like I've never cried before. I didn't care if the neighbors heard me. It was crazy, right? And then as I'm crying, listen to me. As I'm crying, sitting in the chair, it felt like God stood me up. But he didn't stand me up physically. He stood me up like my soul or something. He said, and we're both looking down at me crying in the chair. And he says to me, you know what he says to me? Why are you crying? You're crying about a person you've been begging me to get you away from. Why are you crying? That's what he said to me. And then I was looking at myself. I said, yeah, why am I crying? Why am I crying? That was weird. I'm like, this is what I asked for. Why am I crying? Exactly. That was the delusion of me covering me. I couldn't see it. Because now when I saw myself crying, it didn't make any sense to why I was crying. That's when I knew, okay, the healing starts now. There's no going back. That's it. I don't care if I don't get anything back, blah, 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 right? What I didn't know is that that's what God wanted to hear, because he was going to get everything back. She was part of my journey to help me understand that those people exist. The only way I'm able to tell this story to you is I had to go through it. Now, if God told me, listen, if God told me I would have to go through that to awaken, I probably would have passed on it. I said, nah, I had to go to how many years of that? And she's going to do what? She's going to say what? She's going to do who with what? You would automatically say no. I don't wish that on anybody. But that was part of my journey of waking up. That's when I knew I was covered by this delusion of me, accepting of that behavior, because you get caught up in it. It freed me. All right. So now I leave the narcissist and move in with my sister to get back on my feet. Okay. Now, my sister and I are about 3.5 years apart, and I'm the oldest. Okay. Her and I have never, ever, ever had a fight in our lives, never disrespected each other, never even raised our voices at each other. You hear me? The whole family was jealous of our relationship. That's how close we were. Never. Okay. Now I'm at the 300 level now. I'm helping those of you that are in it, but you're not going to talk about it because you think you have to accept it because the family. Listen. Now that I've had the overview to see, all I had to do was see how she lived her life treating other people. She was a very foul, unfaithful, talk about every single friend, so much to where I had to tell her, stop telling me that stuff. I don't want to hear that. But since I was in it, and we've never had a fight, I just always think we love each other. She would never do that to me because we've never had a fight in our lives. But when I watched her do other things, she had these narcissistic traits she was doing. Only because I learned from the narcissist that I learned from. That was the only way for me to quickly identify that, yes, my sister was a narcissist. And I was still fighting with that because she was my sister. I don't want my sister to be a narcissist. You know, these things were going on in my mind. But she was treating everybody else just the way the narcissist that was with me. I mean, I used to say to myself when I used to see her be unfaithful to her boyfriend, I used to say, don't she know why I just left this narcissist? No, listen, they're so caught up in their perspective, they don't know what's going on, anything outside of their perspective at all. They don't even know, and they don't even care. So while while I was with the first narcissist, her and I created a successful business. Okay. The narcissist, she thought she was going to keep all that stuff. God got all my stuff back, every single thing I owned that I thought I lost from the first narcissist. God got me everything back plus more. Okay. All right. Wow, damn, where was I going with that narcissist? Oh yeah, we created a successful business. So I said to myself, when I got back home, I said, you know what I'm gonna do for my sister? I'm gonna make her 50% partner because I trusted her. Remember, no problems, 100% trust. I'm gonna make her 50% partner. She can quit her job, double her income, work her own hours. What else I was gonna say? All that. And she can quit her job too. Double her salary, all that. 50% partner, sure did. And I said, okay, cool. I could do that. I'm gonna do that for my sister. What else? I love her. We love each other. Okay. And then so it was gonna take me a few months to get everything set up so she could keep her, because she has her own job, she has a relationship, boyfriend, blah, 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 right? I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it too fast, but okay, cool, right? I said, I'm gonna get the company going. It's gonna take me a few months to get it up and going, but once it starts going, I'm gonna need your help. And she was like, okay, cool, all right, no problem. Oh yeah, plus we were gonna pay off the house because that would have helped both of us, because her mortgage would have been paid and I wouldn't have any rent because there is no mortgage, so that would help us all, right? So, but of course with her help, right? So when it was so it took me about, I'm gonna say 3 months to get everything going, right? Then I came to her and I said, hey, okay, I'm ready for your help. She's like, oh, I'm not ready yet. And listen, I understand. If you've always had a job all your life and you've never just taken a chance out there to be better or just make more money, whatever. She didn't really have any problems. There was no chance to take. This was proven. It was a fact that it was making money, period, right? So she didn't really have any of those risks, but she still was nervous. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you to the end of the year to make to come over here to be 50% partner with me. She was like, okay, cool, right? So as the year progressed, I noticed she wasn't making any effort to start cutting down time to come over and start working more into the business and stuff, all that stuff. And I was like, okay. So I would sit her down like, hey man, you're still gone on weekends and enjoying time with your boyfriend and doing whatever you do after work, never showing. I said, I'm gonna need your assistance. She was like, okay. But this is where I knew things were going downhill. When she wasn't putting in the work, guess what she was thinking? She thought she could still get 50% of the profits without putting in the work. I said, I'm in trouble. As soon as I heard her say that, I'm in trouble. I was like, I had to explain to her, listen, I had to explain to her, even though she wasn't putting in 50% of the work, I had to explain to her why she didn't get 50% of the profits. You know what she said to me? You said I was 50% partner. Yeah, but you have to be doing 50% of the work. She didn't understand that. I knew I was in trouble when she did that. That's when I knew things were going downhill fast. I thought to myself, okay. I started panicking because I was thinking about the previous narcissist I was in business with, right? And I said, okay, my sister and I, we've never had a problem. All right, we'll just, you know what? She's just not ready. I'll just sign her off the business. I'll just give her this piece of paper, sign it here that you're getting off the business, and that'll be that. And we'll just revisit this at another time. And we talked about it the night before. I was talking to her about it, right? I said, we can do it this way. She said, okay. The very next day, the very next day, I gave her the piece of paper. I said, okay, here, just sign that. She said, I changed my mind. I was like, what do you mean you change it? What are you talking about? You change your mind? What do you mean? She was like, I got to check a couple things. And I said, there's nothing to check. I'm just going to remove you off the business and you can do whatever you want to do. She was like, nope. Now, I'm in shock at this moment. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm in total shock because my sister and I have never had a fight or nothing. And I said, okay. I said, it sounds like you're trying to hold my business hostage or something. I just don't like the way it sounds. I said, I'm gonna set this paper down. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed because I don't want things to blow up or nothing. So I just sat it down on the counter. Woke up next day. It was still sitting there, not signed. She came home after work. I said, hey, I put a pen there for you to sign it there. She said, you could put 100 pens there. I ain't signing shit. I was like, what? I said, why are you talking like that? I said, I don't get it. I said, you're not working because you're still doing whatever you're doing. Why are you doing that? I said, why are you doing that? And then she just was, hey, then she started like, well, if I sign that paper, you got to get out today. I was like, I gotta get out now because I'm not letting you use me. And she was like, you just got to get out this and that. I said, okay, it's not a big deal. Okay, let me just, it's going to take me like time. And she was like, no, you got to get up. As soon as I sign it, if I'm signing that paper, you got to get, I was like, okay. And God was like, this is what God was saying to me. He could see what I couldn't see when I had the sister blockage because the word sister was in front of the narcissist. The time that we spent together, all the vacations that we shared together, all the family reunions it's irrelevant. It don't even mean anything to a narcissist. I didn't know that. I even said, I remember bringing the paper to her, I even said, hey, and this is it's crazy how God he shows you if you just stay out of the way. I don't get in God's way anymore. I said, if you don't sign this paper, our relationship is going to change forever. This is what I said to her. I said, our relationship is going to change forever. You know what she said? I don't care. Now, you guys it's hard to explain the shock. It really is. It's just unbelievable. It's like, you would throw away our relationship? That's a different kind of love. God's like, she had different love than you have. That's a different kind of love. That you obviously now know the love that you have for her is different than hers, period. She's showing me this. This is after the fact, okay? But that's, when you look at it, naturally, that's what it is. And so, it's weird. She had disappeared for a few weeks, not saying anything. So it was just the weirdest. It didn't make any sense because all she had to do was sign the paper and we would have just went on with life. It was really weird. And then next thing you know, it went on for months. She would just stay away from the house and not talk to me. It was really weird. I just didn't understand why she was doing that. I'm like, okay, at some point she's going to come to me and say, okay, I got to sign the paper if you want me out the house or something. I don't know. Anyway, I was still, to be honest, I was still in shock. I guess I wanted to know how far my sister how far would she go to hurt me or something, right? And now I know she wanted to destroy me. Okay, so once I asked God, I said, God, I don't know what's happening. I need your help. I need your help. I don't know what's happening. So next thing you know, he says, once you ask for God, I know this. Once you ask for God's help, you got to stay out of the way. On December 19th, there was a hard bang at the door. December 19th, 2024, there was a hard bang at the door. Boom, 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 boom. God said, are you ready? Now, listen, I'm telling you after the fact. I'm at the 300 level. God said, you asked me for my help. Are you ready? Let's go. Bam, 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 bam. Two officers come in there and say, hey, this is protection order papers, and you got to get out of here in 15 minutes because your sister is in fear of her life of you. That's what it said in the paper. And when they were holding the papers, I was looking at the papers like, I said this to myself. I said, what could possibly be in those papers? That's what I said to myself. You know what God said? Everything you wanted to know about your sister. You asked me, Liddell, you said, what would my sister do? How far would she go? I'm answering. It's in those papers. As soon as you read them, she's going to tell you everything you wanted to know that you asked of me. He said, everybody has freedom of choice. I can't make her tell you. She's going to do it herself. That's what he said to me. So I read the papers. It was everything from, listen, my business was in her house. You know what she put in the papers? This is what she put in the papers. He can take his stuff, but all the business stuff has to stay. So I couldn't even make any money. She was trying to destroy me. It's crazy. It's like God said, look at that. Do you see that? She wants to keep something that's not even hers. You offered her the gift that I gave you. This is what he said to me. You offered, because he gave me this gift as a business. God gave me that gift. And he said, and you offered it to her. And look what she did with it. Why? Because it's not for her. It was never for her. That's why she's treating it that way. I said, oh, watch, there's more. So I'm reading the papers. She's terrified of me. She's in fear of her life, just lies after lies after lies. I'm in shock. So now, you know what God said to me? As soon as the police escorted me out the house, God said, go over your friend's house. Him and his wife have a bed and a room waiting for you. I drive straight over there. No stops between. Pull right up. Everything's there for me. I had the best New Year's, Christmas ever. One of the best New Year's and Christmas of my life. I had it right there after getting kicked out. So, and I said, God, what am I going to do about this fake lie protection order? Because normally when you're emotionally involved, you think you have to answer every single allegation and lie that they say in the papers. But what you don't realize, court is not about all that. Just stick with the facts. So God said, just listen, just go in there, write down the truth, and the judge will just deny it. And 1 week later, December 26, 2024, it was denied, period. Done. Okay. So now listen, what she did was she did a fake protection order to get me out of the house so she could change all the locks on the house, even the alarm code. That's what she did. She did just to get me out. Dismantled my whole entire business. Everything dismantled, everything. I don't know this till after the fact, okay? I'm just telling you the overview. She dismantled my whole business, told me I'm never getting my machines back, everything. You can't even get your stuff. She was trying to keep my personal property and my business property. You hear me? Sure did. God said, look at that. Your own sister is trying to destroy you. Look at her. She's trying to take your livelihood. And all you did was offer a gift that I gave you. That's why you can't share it with people like that. That's what he said. That's what they do with it. They do it just like they take a gift and they try to steal it, step on it, destroy it. That's what they do. I said, God, what am I going to do then? How am I going to get my stuff back? You know what God said to me? God said, you're going to go over there and take it back. I said, how am I going to do that? God said, the order was dismissed and you still live there. It doesn't matter if she changed the locks. You live there. So you can break into, there is no crime of breaking in your own house. What she thought she did was called an illegal eviction. So that's what I did. I went and rented a U-Haul. Let me tell you guys something too. Once God told me that, I went and rented a U-Haul truck. This was the night before I was going to do it, right? I rented a U-Haul truck, got everything ready that I was going to need to go to break in and steal my stuff back, right? A few hours later, right after I got all my truck stuff, I got an email from my sister basically saying, you ain't never getting your stuff back, basically. She's basically saying, you ain't never getting your stuff back. She didn't know I was getting it back the next day. Went over there, bust the garage door window open because I didn't want to kick her front door in. So and I'm still trying to be nice because I don't want her to have to, her front door was open. So I bust the garage door, broke in through the garage, the door that separates the thing, popped it open with the crowbar. Alarms going off. I brought the earmuffs so I don't have to hear the siren. I heard the police coming, hear them in the background. They come up. I just show them the paperwork. They said, have a nice day. See ya. We don't get involved in all that kind of stuff. I said, have a good one. Sure did. That's the power of God. And this is the thing. Narcissists think they're more powerful than God. That's the delusion that they live in. That's why when you see narcissists, when narcissists do stuff like that and try to destroy, they think whatever the voice is inside the delusion, it tells them that it's okay to do people like that, to destroy relationships and this, you'll be okay. And then one day they're old, and then I'm sure the devil probably just pulls the curtain off and says, you're by yourself now. Nobody trusts you. Nobody. Done. This is how God, it's crazy because now I have the overview. When I'm in it, I can't see a way out of it. I thought I was stuck when I was with the first narcissist. Being with the first narcissist allowed me to identify my sister quicker as a narcissist because she was doing all the traits. And I remember one time when I had first got back from leaving the first narcissist, she had called my sister crying on the phone about me and just crying, oh my God, I miss him, whatever she was crying about. I told my sister, I said, hey, listen, if you want to talk to her, and this was the crazy part about it, I said, if you want to talk to her, you're a grown up. I can't stop you from talking to her. I said, but when she talks to you, don't tell me about what she said. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to hear anything. She was like, oh, okay. It was almost like she got enjoyment of hearing her cry on the phone. It was the weirdest thing. I was looking at her face as she was listening to the ex-narc cry. I was like, why would you want to? Because that's what narcissists do. They just get energy off that type of stuff. And one time I said to my sister, as we were going through this, I said, remember? I said, you remember how the ex-narc was crying on the phone like that? You know, first she's talking crap and doing all this, but she's crying to you on the phone. So you know all the other stuff was just BS, right? I said, you're going to be crying just like her, but 50 times worse, because she was just my girlfriend of 6 years. You're my sister of 50 years. And, you know, of course, my sister's like, oh, no, I won't. Because they all say the same thing. I'm like, I said, you see what you're doing right now? I said, that's what the ex-narc said. Oh, no, I won't. I don't care. This and that and blah, blah. You guys all say the same thing. You always say, but then when you're by yourself, you cry and do whatever. Don't let them fool you, people. Don't let them fool you. They all do the same stuff. And she said, oh, no, I'm not going to be crying like that. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. I said, you're probably doing it now because you messed up. You know, so crazy. They have no idea. All they got to do is say sorry. A sincere, but they can't. But listen, narcissists don't do that. You know why? Because they don't believe they're ever wrong. I made this video to help people. If you're in it, your biggest energy right now, let me tell you something. Now that I'm out, stop being intimately involved with them. Stop. You use everything in your power to stop, because I'm telling you, that's the most that right there, that's keeping you unconscious, because they're sucking the energy out of you. You don't think it's energy. It's weird that you don't look at it like that because they're so involved in it. Stop being intimately involved with them. Stop it. It'll help you wake up. It'll help you realize what you're accepting, you shouldn't be accepting. I promise you that. Trust me, and the narcissist, they're gonna throw at every single thing to try to, well, I'm gonna get it from somewhere else, and this is gonna happen because you didn't give it. And listen, let them do whatever whatever. You let them say and do whatever they want to say, whatever, it doesn't matter. You let them do it. It'll free you faster. You'll wake up quicker. Because now, you know what's so funny? Now, when I think about certain things, because before it ended, I was pretty much down on the couch every day because I didn't realize she was starting a new relationship. You know, if I'm on the couch every day and she's up in the room every day, and if she could talk to her new person every single day, of course the new person's going to think she's really single because she's talking to him every day on the phone. They don't know, right? The new person doesn't know. I realized when I had started not having sex with her, I noticed that when I was downstairs, she would come down and skimpy stuff and you know, little stuff. Just it's like, man, you're gonna have to, as a man, you're gonna have to be strong, but you got to do it. That's the only way you're gonna get away from that narcissist. But now it makes sense when I used to see that, because that's pretty much torture when you try. But especially if that part wasn't a problem, really. So, but you got to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. That's the only way it's going to free yourself. That's a huge part of it. Huge. Oh yeah, I am rejoicing for sure. uh, Let me see all in here. Good job. Thank you, moderators. Much appreciated. What's up, Austin? Yes, God is good for sure. Appreciate you. I call it seeking God. The moment God intervenes, divine intervene. Yeah, I love it. He does that. Now it happens to me all the time. So I'm just, I'm used to it now. All right, that's it. Thank you for joining. It's a double header. I ain't going another 2 hours. So unless you guys have a question about my story. If you have a question about my story, great, but I'm not going to go into another 2 hours, because the last one I did 2 hours and didn't realize it was 2 hours. What's up, Monique? Well, yeah, that's a double header tonight. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and make this public. Thank you for joining, everybody. Much appreciated. Holler at you later. Caught this one. Hoop Therapy says, no, I haven't. And honestly, I don't really even think about it, because my main focus is on other stuff. It's like right now, for a woman to enter my life today, like a serious relationship, right? She would already have to be here, because I'm 55 now. I had to go through all of these steps to awaken and become debt free and all this other stuff. And a person, not only would she have to be debt free, everything in her internal, what's going on, maybe she got to heal from some stuff, all that has to be taken care of. It all has to be, because I don't really have time for that anymore. It's like, if they haven't, especially if they haven't taken care of it by my age, right? It's not, there's really nothing I can do about that, nor do I want to deal with it. It's like, it's really not and you can always hear it too. You can hear, just all you have to do, all I have to do is just listen to a woman. And if she's talking about some trauma, but she's still talking about it like it's present, like it's still today, and it's still hurt, that automatically says she hasn't dealt with it, especially if it was like 20 years ago. It's like, oh, what happened? Oh, something happened 20 years ago. I'm like, and you're still talking about it like it happened yesterday. Yep, nope, not doing any of that. No, sir. And so it's not really that I'm not even looking for a relationship. She just has to be here already, or because I'm cool with being by myself. That doesn't bother me at all. I don't mind being alone. Many people cannot be alone, and that's the problem. Once you love yourself, it's really easy to be alone. It's not, alone doesn't sound like a negative term. It's like, thank you, because of peace and stuff like that. So, but thank you for the question. Appreciate it. Any other questions? It sure isn't lonely. You're right about that, Omanike. What's a sign to walk away from a relationship? Uh, if the person is doing something to you that doesn't feel like love, that you don't like, that's probably a sign. If the relationship doesn't feel like anything less than love, that's a sign, because there's nothing less than that. There's no exceptions. Society will make you feel like there's exceptions to the rule, but it's not. That's totally up to you. If society decides to make exceptions to the love rule, that's on them. That don't have to be on you. And this is the best advice I can say for a lot of people. Get Find the love within yourself first. Find the place that you love yourself. Like right now, I love myself. I love myself. I made it through 2 narcissists. I learned so much for the experience. Thank you, God, for both of the experiences. Thank you, because there was no other way for me to learn, because it's not in books and nothing like that. The way I experienced it, at least, right? Thank you, God, for all that. It I forgot where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? Remind me where I was going with that. I totally forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, anything less than love. I think that was on that track. Anything less than love. Once you really understand that, and understand that there are people out there, I'm a perfect example. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm the example. There are people out there that understand what the word love means, like true love. You don't even have to explain it. There's no lies. There's no wondering. They're not telling you something. People don't believe that exists, but I know it exists because I exist. Because I exist. You can hear. I'm telling you, all you got to do is listen. People always tell you stories. When it's a lie, the story really never makes sense, ever. It just never makes sense. You just pretend like you don't know it, and then you just leave that person alone, because you know the story doesn't make sense that they're telling you. And you're just like, oh, okay. It may make sense to somebody else, but not to me. Those are usually dead giveaways to people not telling the truth about certain things, when the story doesn't make sense. What's up, James? How you doing, sir? SMD today is huge. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you can see it too, James. Much appreciated, man. This is huge to me. I know that. Huge. Those of you guys that haven't been following me, man, man, I remember you guys used to always ask me at SMD, why did I do 3-hour lives and all that stuff? Because you guys didn't know that was my only escape from the narcissist. That was the only time she would leave me alone. She was never interested in SMD, nothing, anything I did with SMD. She had absolutely no interest. And the couple times that you guys did hear me do videos, let me tell you something. When I was doing that video, you guys don't know this either. Every time I had did a video with her, I just felt it was all wrong, because it was a lie. All of it was a lie. She would put on this fake ass voice I was like, you don't even talk like that. When she would get on the mic talking to you guys, she didn't sound like that. That's not how she sounded normally. And I used to go, because narcissists are fake. I went in there and took down every video of her and I just took that shit. All that shit was fake. I said, let me get rid of that corny ass fake stuff. But again, I was in the narcissistic fog. I didn't know why any of that was happening. So it's funny to think about today, though. It really is funny to think about today. First time here. Thank you for your wisdom. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. And knowledge. Much appreciated. I think it will be tough for me to get into a relationship once you do the hard work of figuring. Well, hoop therapy, trust me, once you put in the hard work and do whatever it takes to free yourself, you're really not even going to be thinking about relationships like that anymore. You're just not. And you're going to be thinking about everything differently. It's not like that anymore. Because first of all, say like once you free yourself from debt, you are not really going to get intimately involved with a person that's in debt and don't care about getting out of debt. So you're probably not even going to have sexual relations with them because you just don't want them to get confused, thinking it's going to turn into something. You're just not going to do that. You're not going to want to lead a debt slave away from feelings, because sex changes. I don't care what people underestimate the power of sex. They just underestimate it. I don't do that anymore. I don't even pretend like I'm more powerful than it. I don't even do that. I don't even play with it like that no more, because I'm just in denial about it if I do that. When it's obvious, all you got to do is look around. You think about it. You think 24-hour fitness and LA Fitness, why do you guys think they're so big? Why do you think that's so big? Because sex. People want to see stuff, see everybody's bodies. People go to the gym for 3 or 4 hours. Nobody's working out that long. Nobody's working out at 3 or 4 hours. They're just going in to look. It's obvious. It's just obvious. They make so much money from people not going. Those gyms are so big because the people pay to not go. Sure does. Changes everything. You're right about that. People can be in denial about it, and it counts on your connection with it too. Is it just, this is what I understand. Even with the word, right? The word sex, that means something different to everybody. That's what people don't understand. That word means something, everybody that says it, whatever, it means something different to everybody. You don't know why that person that you're about to be intimate with, you don't know why they're there. You don't know the reasons why they're there. Maybe they could be mad at somebody. Maybe they're getting back. You just don't even know. Maybe something from years ago. Who knows, man? I don't even, listen, to me today, I don't even, The minute I hear a problem or they talk about of the past, I'm like, yep, I'm out. See ya. That means unhealed trauma, something. I don't know. But it's like, Nope. Because I don't have any of that. I did all the hard work to remove all the stuff that I had in my life that I ever thought that I could, whatever it is. It all starts here. Once you heal all this, because I believe everybody has something, and I'm going to just give you a heads up. Once you heal this, the outside world is easy. Once you heal this, you know how many people that you can see and hear that have not healed this? They can't stop talking about it. That's how you know. When you hear them talk about something that happened 10, 15 years ago, they're telling you that they have not healed from it, because if you healed from it, you don't even talk about it. That's like you had a boyfriend when you was in high school, and now you're 40 years old and you're still talking about how your boyfriend hurt you in high school. People would look at you like, you mean something that happened 30 years ago or something? It's the same thing. But so many people have it and haven't really, they talk about it like it's normal. Oh yeah, really? That happened to me. Tell you what. And then they start sharing, and then they start, I don't be around that. I'm sensitive to negative energy now. I got to get away from that. Self-talk, doubt to themselves, can't do stuff because of this person. I'm out of there. And by the way, that's a dead giveaway for narcissists. Dead giveaway. And let me tell you something, unconscious chosen ones. Let me tell you something. This is why, let me tell you the reason why it's so easy for a chosen one to get caught up with a narcissist. Because if you are an unconscious chosen one, you don't know that narcissistic people exist, okay? You don't know about the first stage of you're everything. I mean, just put you on a pedestal, right? As an unconscious chosen one, when a narcissist does that to you, you believe that they can see you for who you are. That's how she got me. I didn't know about the first stages of a narcissist. So in my mind, as an unconscious chosen one, I was like, wow, she can see me because she's putting me up on this pedestal. I was like, wow, she's doing some crazy thing. Okay, that's what they do. That's how they get you in. Crazy sex stuff and this and that. Only with you. I only did this with you. Oh, wow, she knows I'm special or whatever you're thinking. And then when they start to do the devalue stage, you're confused. You're like, wait a minute, you were just saying this and that. Oh yeah, that's all part of the thing. This is how they suck you in, unconscious chosen ones. You don't know about them, but they know about you. To them, you're an easy mark. They can mess around on you because you're not doing any of that they're doing. You're not messing around. You're not seeing other people talking stuff behind their back. So to them, you're easy because you're not checking on them like they're checking on you. Have you noticed they're always checking on you about things that don't exist? If you're not fooling, listen, this is so obvious. They make it so obvious. Listen, if you don't fool around, but they're checking your stuff to see if you fool around, you know what they're saying? They're fooling around because there's nothing to find. Because you know you're not doing anything. So they're really telling on themselves. Do you understand? They're saying, I'm doing that. Anything they check and they say, hey, let me check your phone. Where'd you go over here behind the thing? And you know you're not doing nothing, never have. They're telling on themselves. You just got to be listening. I remember this thing, she used to say, oh, here we are. I got my focus on the business and us and building. And she starts saying things like, oh, you're so scared to do it in the car, in the back seat. I'm like, where is that even coming from? What are you talking about in the back seat stuff? I'm like, oh, okay, you want to be that. Okay, I said, okay, once we get everything going, we can have some fun, do whatever you want to do. But I'm like, but she would know why, because that's what she was doing. She would always have, oh, I got to run to the store at nighttime. I'm like, hey, why are you going at night? You got to be careful, because that's what she was going to do. And then come back home to me. Save yourself, unconscious chosen one. You don't have to go through that. You don't want to go through that. That's why God couldn't tell me. That's why people always say, oh God, I wish God could. No, he can't tell you that, because if God said, in order for you to awake, Linnell, you have to be with this narcissist for 6 years. She's going to do this, that, this, that, this. I would have said, no, thank you. No, thank you. Absolutely not. I have to do what? And she's going to do what? And she's going to still be kissing me in the mouth? And I'm still going to be having... No. That's why I can't tell you everything. Because you would say no. Because when they do that, when you get all the way down to the bottom of it, each time they fool around on you, not only do they not care about their own lives, they're saying they don't care about your life. Do you understand? I found your channel SMD in September of 22. Wow, okay. And I've been climbing out since. Thanks, LJ. It's been tough, but I'm still going climbing. You know what's so crazy at Hoop Therapy? Being hard is part of the journey. This is why, because it's going to make you respected. Being tough, being very tough to get out of debt, fighting temptation. Once you achieve it, you're going to respect it even more. And then that's going to toughen you up to people that might try to, oh, that's stupid. You're going to be like, whatever. Because you'll know they're saying they're not tough enough to do it. You'll hear them totally different. Student loan debt. Yeah, that's the main bad boy right there. You got to do it. I remember I paid off my student loan debt. That was hard, seeing my checks just be going boom. I was the middleman. Employer, student loan. Employer, student loan. Employer, student. Oh, LJ, you live with your sister. You're this age, and why you don't have nothing? Boy, you gotta ignore all those people. Ignore them because they don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. What else sounds like? Yeah, yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Well, it was my pleasure to share this with you guys today. It was my pleasure. I felt that I had to. Uh, if it only reaches one person, I'll be happy. I can feel. I thought it was just about debt, but I can feel that it's much bigger than that. It's to try to help as many people that are in it, in a narcissistic fog, don't know what's going on, stuck like I was. All you got to do is choose God. He'll get you out. He will. He'll get you out. He got me out twice. Lost everything to the first narcissist, got everything back. Lost everything from the second narcissist, got everything back. Both times. Sure did. Sure did. That was to break into the house, casually get all my stuff out, everything I owned that she said I wasn't going to get back, to break in the house, hear the sirens of the police officers come into the house, knowing that I had nothing to fear because God already told me he was going to protect me. Already told me that before I did it. He said, you're going to take it back and I'm going to protect you. And that's exactly what he did. Cops showed up. Here's the denied paperwork. They said, have a nice day. See ya. She came there crying, pulled up. Because, what's so crazy? She would, you could come by and get some stuff for civil standby. She would never be there. She would spend a night at her, this was during when the temporary protection orders, because I needed some kind of stuff. And you could do a civil standby. She would spend the night, weeks at her boyfriend's house, never be at the house. She was just cold with it. It was just like, God was like, see, look at her. Look what she's doing. All you need is your necessities, Linnell. And your own sister is not even letting you do that. Ain't that crazy? It's everything that you asked for me, Linnell. Everything. Look. Do you need any more proof to drop the sister? Do you need any? When a narcissist, it doesn't matter who it is. I'm living proof of that. I'm like, I don't know what better example could it be, because I've never had a fight with my sister in my life. We've never had a fight. There's no way I could have saw this coming, ever. Ever. And if they can do that, just throw away a 50-year relationship like that, crazy. And man, it still blows my mind to today. But now she's my ex-sister, never to return, ever. Even saying something like that probably blows a lot of people's minds. They're like, oh, no, you're going to, nah. Listen, if you have somebody that's willing to lie on legal paperwork, they're trying to destroy you. You do not allow people like that in your life because they don't care about their own life. You got to understand that. If they're willing to get you in legal trouble from a lie, that means they don't stop anywhere. They have no limits to try to destroy you. Once you understand that, you will call an ex-sister, an ex-brother, you will say happily, no problem. See ya, peace out. See ya. Doesn't bother me a bit. Sure don't, because I know. She showed me. Nobody told me. This is the difference. Nobody told me. She showed me. You understand? That's the difference. Same here, praise God, yeah. I was shocked when you stated your mother is a narcissist. I thought you said your mom nurtured you growing up, and as a baby, she was wearing a mask. And check this out, Zyara? Yeah. Am I saying that right? Zyara, yeah. I'm gonna call you Z. And you're right. Growing up as a child, I had the best life. My mom was the best nurturer. But she didn't have many relationships, but they never ended right. Okay, they never ended peacefully. Okay. But as a young child, I'm thinking it's always the guy's fault because my mom is loving to me. Okay. Things didn't start changing, and this is the overview. Things didn't start changing until I became an adult. Okay, until I became an adult man. Okay. I noticed as we grew up, my mom never talked about her dad, ever. I never knew his name. She never said anything. And whenever I asked her, was he in your life? No. And she'd just be shut. And I'm like, okay, all right. But as an adult man, I noticed when I started coming into my own adult self, making my own decisions, I noticed my mom was having a problem with it, which was really weird because I was in denial about that too. If I made my own decision, oh yeah, I don't want to go to church anymore. It's not really, oh, you're this and that. I'm like, whoa, I'm an adult. I don't have to go to church anymore. If I choose not to go, just stuff like that. Or she would always show favoritism to the sisters, especially the youngest. And then when I would point that out, she would be in denial about it. No, I don't. I would go, yes, you do. Why is this even a discussion? That's obvious. And then she would lie. My sister would do things and she would lie to me about it. I'd be like, why are you lying to me about that? I just never understood. It's obvious what's happening. Why are you lying to me? But she would say, no, I'm not. So I noticed, and I also noticed I could never have serious talks with my mother. I noticed we couldn't sit down and say, okay, listen, when you do this, she would just make faces, just like a narcissist. Listen, make faces. Oh my God. I said, hey, Mom, I'm gonna need you to stop doing that. Because when you do that, you're really telling me that you could care less of what I'm saying. Because when you're making faces, that's what it says. You guys got to remember, it doesn't matter who it is. This is my mom that I've never had a problem with. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I was thinking. I said, well, now that we're older, I'm like, this is like 2024 that I had this talk. Okay, listen. So I'm going to church with my mom every Sunday, spending time with her, I'm like, I'm back, I'm gonna just do this. And we would go out to breakfast every time, right? So I would sit down and I was like, okay, Mom, I want to have some serious talk. Oh, Linnell, you too sensitive. I said, hey, Mom, listen, I'm gonna need you to stop doing that, okay? Because when you talk to me, I sit here, I'm focused, this is how I'm talking to her, right? And she says, okay. I said, listen, if you do that again, I'm gonna stop going to church with you because that means you're not listening. We go out a couple more times, time to have another serious talk. She does it again. So since I set that boundary, now I have to follow through with it. My loving mother, I know she's not gonna want to not go to church with me. There's no way. This is what I'm thinking. There's no way she's going to just not go to church. Do you know? We never talked again after that. She didn't care if I didn't go to church. She didn't say, hey, why you not going? Nothing. She didn't even bring it up anymore. Just stop. Shocked the shit out of me. I was like, what? And then I'm like, okay, I let it go. It wasn't a big deal. That wasn't the end of my mother at that time. I was just like, whatever. But then I noticed, like, whenever I asked her, like, borrow the truck for a minute to move some stuff, it's always some kind of attitude. Or if I bring my son, it was just weird shit. So one time, she had did something, I think with the truck, and said, "You did something." I was like, "That's enough." Cut her off. Haven't talked to her since. You hear me? Haven't talked to her since. Absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. And that connect. And listen. And this is the crazy part about it. When my sister lied about the fake protection order, guess whose name was on the protection order to stay away from? My mother was in there. She signed off on the lie with my sister. Made the connection for me. You know what God said? See? Look at that. See? All your answers are answered. They're out. Do you know how strong you have to be to do that? You have to be strong to do that. Very strong. But I already knew, with them removed, I'm at peace now. That energy that you feel, that, don't doubt it. When you go around a family member right now that doesn't treat you right, and they try to hide it, that energy that you feel when you're around that's a thing. Once you remove that person, you don't feel that energy. The energy you feel like family gatherings, or when you come next to them, that energy is gone because they're no longer in your life. You better pay attention to that. I don't have that. I lived with it for years. In denial. My mother being in denial about things that she's doing. That's to help you guys. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to accept that. You can make them leave. Set a boundary and they'll disappear. They'll disappear. Narcissists are natural cowards. They always run. They always run. They always run. Have you ever wondered about your dad's side? I have, but my dad has never been in the right mind to even talk to me about serious things. Every time all my life, he always talked about the same things: women and sports and just dumb, stupid stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I'm done with that. I'm not even trying that anymore. Because I tried to make a connection with him, but it was never. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'm the son. He's supposed to be making, Then I just stopped. So it's not. Once you get used to removing negative people from your life, it's really not. You're not going to care who it's from. You're not really going to care. I promise you that. I choose not to reconcile with and that's a choice. My sister tried to destroy me, people. There's no coming back from that. When you see police come up and knock at the door, that means you're in the system now. There you go. On whatever. Name and this and that, and you got to go down and file all this stupid paperwork. Now you got to come in with other angry people that are down there for their own reasons. Man, you go, like, listen, I remember when I had to go file a response to her fake order. You get in the house, you get in the courthouse, and you could just feel the fucking negative energy up in that joint. You could just feel it. You hear everybody's stories, and everybody's telling you, oh, this and this. Like, oh my God, I got to get the hell out of here. I'm not even supposed to be in here. It's God saying, do you ever want to be in here again, LJ? Just listen, feel it. You ever want to be in this ever again? No, stay away from narcissists. Stay away from narcissists. I had to go through that and feel it to respect it. Once I get it, once I'm free, I'm gonna respect my freedom. I'm never gonna have. Listen, don't ever get into business with a narcissist. Don't ever do that. I did it twice. Don't do it. Don't do it. No better friend than God. You're right about that. All right, I'm out of here. It's an hour. I'm hungry. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'll make it public soon. Which said betrayal hurts. The covert narcissist. I was married to mom. Had me arrested. Yeah, and his second wife, which was a covert narcissist, had me arrested, but he was killed. Ooh, that stuff, man. They'll put you in that legal system. All right, you guys have a good one. Later.